All right, next we're going to hear from AWE, and our speaker to take us through that conversation is Mr. Paul Tomlinson. Paul, welcome. And before we jump into the specifics of your storage solution and what you're doing there at AWE, tell us just a little bit about what function storage or HPC plays at AWE there in the UK.
So firstly, Bob, thank you for allowing me to present at this TAP event. It's much appreciated. My name is Paul Tomlinson. I work in the High Performance Computing Department at AWE. AWE is responsible for maintaining the UK's nuclear deterrent, and one of the key underpinning technologies to certify the safety of the warhead is high performance computing, due to the comprehensive underground test ban treaty. We're not allowed to make anything go bang.
Right.
Next slide. Next slide, please. So I'm going to give you an overview of our current project. We've just gone through, and now we're in the contractual stage. We can now talk about this. So that's what we're going to go through. Current setup at AWE, like most high performance computing sites around the world, we've been heavily dependent on StorageTech, which is now known as Oracle. We have two SL8500s, a mixture of 10 TKs, A, B, C, Ds, and some LTO4s. So they've been there for about nine years. However, as most of you are aware, Oracle have downsized their tape portfolio, which has then brought us to a position where we need to review the long-term future for these libraries. So currently, we have done a market review of the options to determine the best way forward just to support these libraries to begin with. So what we've done, much to Oracle's dismay, is we split the maintenance contract for these. So unbeknown to us, and most people, IBM can support Oracle tape libraries. So we put the hardware support through IBM, which includes the tape drives, the SL8500 itself, but the software stayed with Oracle. So just in case we've had any software bugs found, which this stage of its life, I doubt that very much. So why do we need to change? As most people are aware, of course, never officially announced, Oracle have discontinued the titanium range of drives. Within Europe, it's very easy to get titanium A's and B's off the second-hand market, so it's, I don't know, a couple £100 for a refurbished A and B, so it's cheaper to buy those and maintain those. However, the C's and D's are not too easy to maintain or source in the second-hand market. So that was one of the reasons we used the drives. The availability of them was drying up. We've got data to move off these at some point, therefore we need to have a good supply of drives. Unfortunately, one of the libraries has some critical hardware fixes, which means we have to dismantle the library to take apart to fix that, broken around the corner, which is not what you want. So the decision was taken based on the lack of spare parts, the technology end of life, and the amount of some of the critical faults we got, was to replace the libraries.
And Paul, I'm curious, when you talk about storage, how long are you keeping this information? I mean, we talk about technology coming and going and changing and replacing these libraries, but what about the data and the information itself? What can you give us some general feel for that?
So the data we have is irreplaceable.
Mm-hmm.
So it gets migrated from one tape technology to the next. So it's kept indefinitely. Therefore, we need access to it whenever we need to record the files back.
Gotcha.
So back to the ITCs, we decided to go out to what is known as an invitation to tender in the UK. The high-level requirements, 2 libraries. Why 2, do you say? We have a primary and a secondary. So the primary files, we still have the data, it's still available to us from the second site. Also, it's there for disaster recovery. If anything happened to one facility, we still have the data. We haven't lost it completely. We estimate we need about 5,000 tapes to begin with to get us going, based on the current data we've got to move and years or two worth of data growth. We looked at going for enterprise drives, but based on our usage model, we decided we'd stick with the LTO brand, and that also made it a interesting tender, because it made it a level playing field as far as we are concerned. As we're a 365 24/7 lights out facility, we want full redundancy within these libraries, so if something happens to them, they still must keep going, because we don't get called out. Also be compatible with our current backup software we use on site. We did have some desirable requirements. These are the nice to haves. It would have been nice to be able to move our current storage tech drives into the new infrastructure with the tapes and do a media copy internally. Therefore, we can advance the dismantling and disposal of the current libraries and save some time there. And we're interested in the Ethernet-based solution. Why? Well, we're currently all based on Fibre Channel. There's only one vendor in the Fibre Channel market. We were committing to these libraries for 10 years up front, and that means you have to keep a Fibre Channel solution for another 10 years. We're unsure whether the market would still be in position. We wouldn't want to change halfway through, so we looked at we put in there a desirable for an Ethernet-based solution. Went out to market, and the winner is Spectra. So why did we pick them? Well, they met all the mandatory requirements. So the 2 libraries, dual robotics. We've got dual robotics can host the enterprise drives. We can put those in there. They proposed the Swarm switches, which are Ethernet-based connectivity, which gave us the ability to move away from the Fibre Channel infrastructure we have. They also proposed the LTO 9 upgrade program for the second side. So we'd start on LTO 8, get that one up and working, and then we'd bring the second library online and then start some 8. But then when LTO 9 becomes available, we'd already pre-purchased those drives and just upgrade the second half. And surprisingly, they were commercially competitive. So we were very pleasantly surprised on that, how competitive Spectra were compared to the other bidder, which is a 3-letter acronym that you can all guess. So we were pleasantly pleased about this one. So basically they met the requirement. So this is the design. We have a 7-frame TFinity in one site and a 6-frame on the second site. The 7-frame includes the enterprise drive slot. As you can see, we've gone for 30 drives to begin with in each site, with the Swarm server at the top, connected over 40 gig to our backup servers to begin with. We'll look at upgrading that at a later date. To us, this is a standard library. It's used all around the world. We did some reference sites. They were going to be visits, but due to a thing called a pandemic, we had to do it over the phone, which is that worked well. So every person we spoke to us, they were quite pleased to have our Spectra perform as well. So interesting design, standard setup. The only thing different between, I think we're the first ones to go with Swarm in Europe. So we're interested to see how well this performs.
Mm-hmm. And I'm also curious, Paul, as you go into this data migration, is your plan to move those STK tape drives into the TFinity and do your migration all in the TFinity, or what are you thinking about when it comes to the migration?
As I already said, we've got the 7-frame TFinity, which has got a slots for 4 STK drives, mm-hmm. which we're going to populate and move the data from the we require to be migrated internally within the TFinity itself. So take the tapes, put the tapes in. Another thing we're going to do is when we finish with the sleds, we're going to swap those sleds. We've agreed that we can swap those sleds for LTO 8/9 sleds. So because we knew it'd only be a short process. We've got that agreed in the contract as well.
Oh, that's great. So once you're done with those old SGK drives, you're going to take those out, use the sleds, which for those of you who are not familiar with the sled, it's just the bracket that holds the drive in place, supplies the power, allows for the alignment, things of that nature. Yeah.
We need to do this bit, not the sleds, the TFinity packs. That's what they are. The tape packs.
Oh, gotcha. The Terra packs that hold the tape.
Sorry, yeah. So the Terra packs. We've agreed that we can swap the Terra pack, the Enterprise SDK Terra pack, for an LTO Terra pack when we finish doing the work.
Oh, great, good thinking.
So, yeah, so we won't, because it's a one shot. You know, we'll put them in there and then we'll throw them away within six months. So,
yeah.
What's the point?
Have you got any advice for anyone that's going through this? Because I know there's still a lot of people, especially in high-performance computing, even some in media and entertainment, that are getting off of the old Oracle technology that's been discontinued. Any just general advice you might give to them?
Do it sooner rather than later. We brought this procurement forward, and it's the best thing we've done. We're not sure whether the libraries are going to last as long as we think they are. The second-hand market is shrinking down. One or two sites are buying up all the spares because they've got large amounts of data to migrate, which is going to take a number of years, and they need to keep their libraries going. So before long, you could be short on spares. So yeah, if you're going to move, do it sooner rather than later.
Great.
And that's the graphic we have designed for the library.
And so these are the skins, I guess, as we call them, of your actual TFinity.
Yeah.
Beautiful, nice layout.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Paul, for that insight. It's always great to hear from our users and hear how they're actually working with the technology. We appreciate it, and we will certainly look forward to continuing to work with you into the future.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.